Hey everyone, it's Dewey here. We're here at the Jets Over Kentucky 2025. People starting to wrap up things, and I caught Banana Hobbies booth here. They're starting to take some planes apart, but they've been flying all weekend, all week, like
Still flying.
a lot.
Yeah.
So they're here with a lot of their aircraft. I want to show you guys everything here. This is Jeremy Salt. He's, I guess you say U.S. distributor.
So I am no, I'm a marketing manager for Banana Hobby. I'm product tester, development, processing stuff like that. I also do CS. So if you happen to get a call from CS, you're probably going to hear from me.
What's
So you
CS?
get the
Customer service?
customer service.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
On there. So you may hear from me. You may hear from some of our other people. But yeah.
That's good to hear. So if you guys have any questions, you can always call, and you're probably going to talk to Jeremy. So, but Jeremy, I've been noticing you guys actually donated a F-16 plug and play to the event,
We sure did.
and it was auctioned off yesterday. That's why I really want to come down here and look at it. I've looked at their B1, a number of their airplanes on YouTube. So, Jeremy, I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to let you do the talking. Give us a quick overview of the airplanes, if you don't mind.
All right, yeah, sounds good. First things first, I want to apologize. We're kind of in disarray because we're packing, but we'll get there. So our overview of what we sell and stuff that we do is we sell airplanes from 40 millimeter size all the way up to really expensive turbines. You've got a bunch of variety here. Since this is a turbine jet event, you get to see a lot more of the turbine jets. But we do have one EDF here to show you if you guys are interested in that. So what you got here and what you're seeing is you got two different brands of airplanes that look very similar. And so these are our Pilot RC brand and Jet Ruler. Jet Ruler is new to Banana Hobby. This is the first year of having them, and they're absolutely killing it in regards to these airplanes. So this airplane right here, this is one of our Jet Ruler 1/8 F-16s. This is exactly what we ended up donating for this event. The only difference is that the paint scheme was in the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. This scheme right here is the U.S. Air Force Viper demo team that is actually part of the Shaw Air Force Base, and this is the 50th anniversary scheme that they did based upon the A model F-16 that they started very way back when the F-16 was in the X or Y F-16 scheme. The only difference that you can tell is that from the A model to the current Viper demo scheme that they have here is the gray nose, the radome covering on there. So when they did the development of the A model, they didn't have to worry about the radome yet at the time because they had the proof concept of the airplane. Well, now that the airplane is actually a combat-coded aircraft, they have to be able to utilize this thing. And so that's why it's painted in the scheme there, and that's why it's got a standard gray radome on the F-16 there. So awesome scheme, beautiful, shows up in the air. The red, white, and blue pops out and stands out. We love this scheme. So again, this is one of the Jet Rulers. This version over here, this is the Pilot RC version. A lot of manufacturers out there use same molds. They end up passing them around to each other, and then they change the internals within and do little different specialties within them, and that's what makes them different. And so on this airplane here, this is actually an airplane that is at least 2 years older than the Jet Ruler versions. And the Jet Ruler versions, they've made it bigger, better, badder, if it makes any sense. Everything's more fine-tuned.
I noticed all the rivet lines and everything.
Yeah,
in the
and
Jet
so
Ruler.
the Pilot RC is where you started in the game, and now you're getting bigger and better every year. Every different thing's a new version. And so with the Pilot RC1, you've got different missile rails. You've got a cockpit that was, it didn't have a cockpit in there, and so we have a grayed out cockpit. The nose cone doesn't separate, and then you don't have lights. But again, the newest, latest, and greatest is out, and that's where Jet Ruler's at with the 1/8 size. And so that's what we donated, was a 1/8 size on there. This next one over here is a different scheme, but the same airplane. And as you can see, big difference on here is this is an Alaskan aggressor scheme. This is based out of up there in Alaska. We love the scheme. They actually call this one the Forest Green Aggressor. If you look out there and you look at aggressor aircraft out there, you see a lot of them out of Nellis Air Force Base. You got the blue schemes. You got a bunch of other ones out there. They've got a lot of Russian schemes. And what these are intended for, if you don't know, is to train our pilots for the visual representation in case we ever had to combat or fight against the Russians. And so, you get that visual representation of how to look for the same type of schemes on there. And these are, this is latest to us. This is the first one that has actually been built, the first one in the country, and more to come later on. This is a pre-order aircraft in this scheme, but you can see it's absolutely beautiful, and it's different. That's the cool thing about Banana Hobby is we're trying to bring different to the market.
Yeah, it's an awesome scheme.
So
Wow.
we also have a lot of other options on there too. So these are the airplanes that are around the $3,500 range. They have an 80 Newton motor. We recommend 80 to 102 Newton. And they fly fantastic for, a very marginal, hit to your bank.
Okay. So you said 3,500.
So about $3,500.
What does that get us for 3,500?
That is a plug and play airplane. You get servos, you get lights, you get the controllers for the landing gear, the brakes, the light controller. You get all the servos within the airplane, the landing gear. The only difference is that you have to connect everything.
Okay.
And so as you get larger and larger into airplanes, majority of the communities out there in the RC, they don't want it to be built. They don't want just grab it and go. They want to take a little bit of pride in what they do. They like to inspect, and they like to make sure everything's operating the way they want it. And so a lot of the airplanes, if you buy an $18,000 airplane to this, you're in the exact same category where you still have to connect up your stuff, make sure it operates right, like your door linkages, and make sure they're all the right directions. And
are
and
the servos installed?
They come pre-installed,
Okay.
but you still have to adjust them.
Right.
And so you find your center
Fine-tune
points,
things.
yeah,
Yep.
neutral, and you
Yep.
go from there. And so you got those type of things on there, but your lights are installed. It pretty much comes out of the box, and you just have to assemble it. It's not a build per
Yeah.
se; it's an assembly. So there's a bit of a difference on there.
Now, I just watched this fly about 45 minutes ago. This is a pretty cool F-22.
Okay, so this is the F-22 Raptor. This is from our company AF Models. And so what this looks like, and as you can see, this is a foam airplane. And what's good about a foam airplane is foam airplanes are mass produced. Now, being that it's mass produced, you're able to get parts easier. If something happens, you're not in like the composite realm where you're waiting 3 or 4 months for something to be manufactured just for you to keep on flying. And so these airplanes, they are direct replicas or ideas of the F-22 in our small size. This also runs on the same type of power system as that F-16 there. And what the big neat process on this is the density of the foams. And so I'll open this up, and if you can see, you hit this or you feel this, the density feels more like a composite.
Yeah.
Versus any kind of foam. I mean, the way that the compression on these is astronomical. It's amazing how dense this foam is.
And this is a Swinwin 80?
But it's a Sweetwind 80,
Okay.
80 Newton. This airplane we also recommend 80 to 102. But if you want to do Raptor moves that are similar to scale maneuvers and whatnot, you will want to go with the higher 102 size. You'll get more climb and vertical and all of that. Now, a lot of people always ask the question, why is it that a foam airplane does not melt with the heat? The answer is you got a thrust tube that has double layers on it, and so you have a boundary of air that gets pulled through the outside or the inner layer of the tubing, and that's what keeps the outside cool, because you always have consistent airflow that is going through the bifurcating there, and it keeps it cool enough to work. It's a really neat theory.
And this comes with the airplane.
It comes with the airplane, yeah. So again, with this airplane here, it's the exact same as those F-16s over there. But the difference is you get a foam airplane, and you still have to buy your motor, your batteries, and your receiver or gyro type setup in there. Really simple. And you have all your stuff in there too. It's simple. What we really like to tout about this airplane is this is a really beginner type airplane. It's definitely not your first jet type airplane, but if you've already got aircraft experience like 90 millimeters or fast airplanes like that, this airplane is a great go-to if you're trying to get into turbines.
It's a beginner turbine.
Why? Because it's familiar.
Yep.
Everybody realizes that foam flies like foam. And so this is that heavy duty transition that gets you into composites and gets you into bigger, better, badder, expensive stuff. But it gets you a start. And it's a start at a very, very decent price. This airplane right now is around $1,700. And so you're getting into the airplane at a lot less cost, and you can get parts for it easy if you end up doing something, that we all regret,
So 1,700, but that's servos.
Servos
gear.
installed, you get your gear controller. So you got a gear controller here, gear and brake controller actually, all in one. And then you have all your servos and all that all go directly to, either your gyro or your receiver.
Okay.
It also comes with what we call an external BEC. Essentially, you get dual power that goes to an external BEC that provides power to your brakes and your receiver all at the same time, and it's dually redundant.
That's nice.
Pretty nice setup on there.
Very nice. It's a big airplane. It's
Yeah,
I was asking, but it's 71 inches long, wingspan's 51 inches.
absolutely. And the other cool thing is look at this landing gear.
Oh yeah.
You're not joking with this metal gear. Aluminum gear, you get everything like it should. Brakes in this airplane, landing gear doors, you even get lights in it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Servos are installed.
Servos are all pre-installed. And again, you still have to be the hobbyist, right?
Yep, yep.
You still make sure everything's centered like it should be, and you are responsible for setting it up.
I hate to tell you, there's people out there that can do that for you, though.
There are.
So I have some
Well,
friends that do that.
money buys everything, right?
Yeah, that's right. It
And
only take a
so
little
we
bit.
tout AF models as, like I said, that very beginner type airplane setup. And so there's different varieties of airplanes. You got the L-39,
This was
the
flying a lot this
F-22.
weekend.
You've got the Goshawks, the T-45. So we've already put the T-45 away, so you
Okay.
missed that one. And then this right here, this is the Pilot Predator. This is actually an older airplane, but the reason we bring this to shows and whatnot is because it shows legacy. The airplanes that you buy, you're not just wasting your money. You got airplanes that last a long, long time.
Sure.
For instance, like I said, those Raptors, those were here last year at Kentucky Jets. They are still kicking and having a great time. So you just think that you're not buying a beer cooler like everybody always says. Oh, you're buying a beer cooler. Well, no, you're not. You're getting a very good consistency airplane on there.
80 in that also?
So this is an 80 also.
Okay.
So we really like the 80 size on there, but this last year we ventured into bigger and better motors, and we'll talk about them in just a minute.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's all composite.
Yeah.
You see the Matrix all the time. Is it Rue? He's team pilot?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he flies these.
They are fantastic pilots. We miss them this year. They would be taking home every trophy here, guaranteed. They're such a great pilots.
Yes.
All right, let's talk to you about our newest unveil. This airplane here. Let me put this up here real quick, out of the way. This is our JOS 39 Gripen. This is from Jet Ruler also. So like I said, our newest manufacturer.
Okay, the ones that made the real detailed F-16.
Absolutely.
This also.
So this is a JOS 39 Gripen. This thing is running on a 140 Newton motor. It comes also ready to assemble. And so you have to just do the bare basics where you set up your linkages, you set up, your travels in your radio, you set up your gear and door controllers, and you're ready to go. CG and have a blast. This thing is awesome. I call it the Rippin' Grippin' because it is absolutely fast and agile. And if you want, we even have a sport version that's coming out soon too. And it's gonna be lighter, it has thrust vectoring, and it's got some really bright schemes so you can see it a little bit better too, because this thing, the camouflage on it makes it blend in. It's pretty awesome.
Well, camo's camo.
It's doing what it's supposed to. Yep, absolutely.
I had an F-18, man. That thing was hard to see.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It
Yep.
looks like you F-18 here also.
This is also Jet Ruler. This is our 1/8 F-16, or sorry, F-18.
Yep.
Excuse me on there, 1 F-18. Also 140 size because the bifurcated tubing needs it.
Okay.
So that's something people don't really realize. If you've got a straight tube with a 140, the things are nuts for how fast they go. But you start getting into bifurcation, and you have a little bit of a penalty, about 30% on there.
Okay.
So that is our JOS 39 Gripen. Absolutely amazing. We flew that thing a ton of times here.
You guys have been flying everything.
We've been flying
Every
everything.
time I go to Flight Line, there's a couple flying.
And that's good. We're glad everybody's seeing that. We're glad everybody's enjoying that. So yeah,
my F-18 that I used to fly 15 plus years ago was about this size. I flew a yellow aircraft.
Yeah,
F-18,
there you go.
And this is probably the same size, and it's already built and beautiful. And
yeah, so here you go. There's the 140 size in there. One thing that's great about Jet Ruler and getting them through Banana Hobby is all of our tanks are Kevlar tanks.
okay.
That's something that in this hobby we don't see enough of, but it's definitely something that's come standard in our jets. Absolutely awesome. The other thing is our cockpits. Our cockpit scale details are absolutely just another level of detail, and you don't have to do anything. It comes like that.
Wow.
And so if you look at the F-18 and even the Gripen, look at that. I mean, the Gripen has everything that a Gripen has. They got some great details on there, and you cannot beat that.
Well, let's take a look at it looks like you have an F-16.
We do. Yeah,
We can wrap this up here
and again, I apologize everybody that.
Well, it's the end of the show. We got about 3 more hours, and I waited until the end.
And so this is our 1/5 F-16 Fighting Falcon from Pilot RC. So if you remember, we had the Thunderbird out there from Pilot RC in the 1/8. This is 1/5. So 5 of these equals the real deal, which is super cool. There's a lot of words out there. Bigger is better. Well, this is absolutely a true statement. This thing flies like a leaf. It flies like a feather, but it weighs 60 pounds, which is pretty cool. And then you got semi-scale gear. The thing that we tout about on all of our Jet Ruler airplanes is that we have electric retracts. So you're not having to fight air. You're not having to deal with any pneumatics. We're all electric on everything. And so you can only get so scale on electric when you've got to do that.
Yeah, back when I was flying turbines years ago, everything was air, and
so this is a 300 Newton
Wow.
motor. So look at the difference in that.
it's a monster.
Absolutely. And again, this airplane is just like all the other ones where you assemble it, you get it plug and play. The neat thing about this airplane is it actually has thrust vectoring on it too. And so thrust vectoring, if you guys don't know, you have your yaw and you have your pitch control on here to make this airplane do things it's not necessarily intended to do.
That's great.
Pretty cool.
I didn't get to see this fly. So,
Yeah, it got a few flights on there.
but I wasn't here until.
Yeah. All right, so this right here, this is our other another Jet Ruler release. This is our L39 Albatross. Take a look at this cockpit. I mean, that is absolutely just detailed up. I mean, you got even little itty bitty portions of the headrest, and all of these just go and click in nice and easy. I mean, the detail is just superb.
Yeah, it's great.
So they just all click in and you get your nice scale cockpit. Look at that. Also, plug and play, ready to go, like all the others. You get all your electronics and you plug them in and you set them up. And so this is a 140 Newton series airplaning also. Lots of room to work, lots of room to get things going. Pretty nice. This has scale speed brakes on the belly. And you've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights on this airplane. This is an evening flyer that you can get away with pretty easy. Several different varieties of schemes on all of these airplanes that you can get. These are just the ones that we brought, but you've got, for instance, you can get a Thunderbird in this scheme if you want. We've got a yellow scheme, we've got the orange scheme, and then same for the F-16s, we've got 5 different schemes here.
Okay.
You know, all within just the 1/8 series on there. So there's lots of variety. I mean, for instance, we got another one right there behind you. This is another Jet Ruler F-16.
Yeah.
This one's the earlier Viper demo scheme in the Black Snake. And so, you know, this essentially you got lots of options out there if you felt like you wanted something different.
So pretty much every airplane you have is kind of a plug and play.
We try to make it easy.
Yeah.
So we don't want it to be so hard that you don't want to try and buy anything. We want to have it to where it's easy enough that you still have some responsibility in the airplane, but yet you're not going to be discouraged in getting too overwhelmed or any of that on it.
Right. Definitely for a beginner.
Agreed.
Or even advanced for the bigger ones and everything. So.
Correct.
Nice.
You know, we got all kinds of things. Like I said, we venture from 40 millimeter EDF sizes up to 90 millimeter EDF, 105 millimeter EDF sizes, because you can get a Raptor with a 105 millimeter setup in there. The L-39 and the T-45s also are in EDF. You can get those. But the turbines we go, you know, the sky's the limit, and we've got a lot on the way that are going to be pretty awesome too. So, and then, you know, like I said, we had one EDF out here.
Yeah, there's the B1.
And then we got a B1 Lancer back there.
Let's take a look at that real quick, and then we can wrap this up and
Yeah.
Everybody likes the B1.
Everybody loves the B1, and so the B1 Lancer. We modeled this airplane mainly because I worked on this airplane back in the United States Air Force. So I worked on them at Ellsworth Air Force Base. The airplane is a twin 70 millimeter setup, swing wing strategic bomber. It's ran off of a 6S5000 minimum battery. But you can get away with bigger batteries as long as they're not super heavy. You want to try and minimize the weight in the nose. This airplane also is a plug and play, ready to go. You set up your linkages, you install your parts, assemble your parts, and enjoy the airplane. Pretty neat stuff. We got a lot to offer out there. Banana Hobby is amazing right now. We got a lot going on and doing a good job.
You definitely do.
Lots of good stuff.
So, well, Jeremy, I really appreciate everything, the time you've taken. We actually are at like 23 minutes, so this is going to be a good one.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Again, if you guys have any questions with this, you can contact us at sales@bananahobby.com, or if you find me on Facebook or you happen to know my number, go ahead and give me a ring or whatnot. But we'll answer any questions the best we can. The best thing to reach us out is on Facebook. You see us on Facebook at just bananahobby.com.